Hey everybody, today I want to make a quick video on how I make my videos. So I've had a lot of people since I've joined the YouTube community ask me how I film the way I do, how I get the lighting, how I get the backdrop, and people have even asked, do you do it in a studio? Do you use a very expensive camera? Like, what camera are you using? And honestly, it can't be any farther from the truth. I'm a very, I don't want to say low-wage person, but I'm in college right now. I can't afford to use, fancy equipment. I don't have a fancy camera. In fact, I just use my phone, and the camera is on my phone. I make do with what I have. And I'm going to show you guys throughout this video sort of how I do what I do, how I use just simple little things around the house to make the video stand out just that much more. So, again, thank you everyone for showing me so much support in this community. And this is sort of my way of giving back and showing you guys how I do what I do. So, thank you. Alright guys, this is actually the same workbench that I use to film my silver videos. Just thought I'd show you a quick raw version of what it is before I get it set up to film the silver videos. As you can see, I'm pretty big into firearms and stuff in that nature. So, this has always been my firearms workbench, and I sort of adapted it to make the silver workbench lately. Lately I've been working on a couple different builds, so that's why they're out right now. A couple of different AR-15s, and if you guys know anything about the firearm community, the strip lowers are next to impossible to come by nowadays. So they're very expensive. I picked a couple of them up actually right before the unfortunate events down at Sandy Hook, so I got them at a pretty good deal, about $90 a piece. Right now they're selling for about $300. Due to all the gun scare going on, so kind of a scary situation. But like I said, thankfully I picked them up before all that happened, so I have a couple different lowers I'm working on builds for. This is my lead reloading press. I always try to keep this out of the videos, and so far I've been successful. But obviously I'm a pretty thrifty guy. I like to save money, invest money, silver, bullets, all that sort of stuff. So I've been using that for quite some time now, my Lee press, and I've saved up. The lighting's not that great, but as you can see, it's about 2 thick of 9mm boxings, and that's about 2,000 rounds up there. And I also have an old box that some AK-47 ammo came in, and I got this full of 9mm bullets as well. For those of you in the firearm community, you'll probably appreciate this. I mean, it's almost like running your hand through some silver coins. It just feels awesome. Unfortunately, after the Sandy Hook shooting and everything, and the gun control policies coming through, it's been really expensive to buy ammo if you can even find it, and it's been just as bad for reloading supplies. So I have not been buying or reloading or shooting nearly as much as I'd like to, but I'm sort of supplementing that with some silver videos and buying of the silver, so that's good. So yeah, this is my workspace, and sort of a behind the scenes tour, I guess, if you will, of my silver videos. And I'll show you guys how I get my actual setup when I make the silver videos here in a second. Just some more reloading stuff over here. Cheap gun safe. Sorry if that transition was rough, but going sideways. There's my cheap gun safe. Got some food. And over here, my roommates like to grow plants, not of the illegal variety, just normal people plants. I don't get it, but that's their thing. They don't get my silver, I don't get their plants. So, besides this one, I don't know if this one will show up. They just got this one, and I think it's an awesome looking plant. So, I guess I can kind of understand the plant situation. Anyways, so back while I'm over here this is the light that I use. The one that they use to grow their plants to make my silver videos. I think it really makes the silver pop. And the light doesn't really look very good right now, but I'll show you guys that in a minute here too. Finally, when I do make my videos, I always make sure that the water softener and the heater don't turn on. So if they do turn on, I'll usually scratch the whole video, just because I know when people want to watch a video, they want to see it, they want to hear me. Oh, that sounds kind of self-conceited, but they want to see the video. They don't want to hear an loud and annoying sound in the background. So usually if one of these guys turns on, I'll scrap the whole video and start again, but it's on a pretty fixed schedule, so it's not too big of a deal. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you guys how I transform my Firearms Workbench into my Silver Workbench. Alright guys, one of the first steps that I take when I'm getting ready to set up a video is I invested in a tripod. Obviously we've all seen some of Rocky's videos or other videos that are really shaky, and no disrespect to Rocky because he can pull it off. He can pull off the shaky video. He's got enough character that you don't even notice that it's shaking most of the time. However, my content's usually not nearly as good, and all you'd be able to focus on was the shaky camera. So what I did is I got a tripod. As some of you might already know, I actually film all my videos with my phone, so there wasn't really a tripod for it. I had the Motorola Razr, so it's a relatively thin phone, but I'm pretty sure you can do this with other phones too. But what I ended up doing was I got a tripod, and I got one of these paper, I'm not sure what they call them. I'm sure you have them in your office. These little paper binder sort of things. I wrapped some electrical tape around the outside of it, so that way it wouldn't damage the glass in the phone. And then, if you look at it, I bent this leg out, just to give it a little bit of an angle. If it'll focus. Yep. And so I'll show you what I do with this. So all you need to do is get one of these paper secures, bend one of the legs, throw it in a vise, and bend it to as close to a 90-degree angle as you can, and then wrap some electrical tape around the outside if you're worried about damaging your phone. So in this scenario, I'm going to use this piece of cardboard as my phone just to show you how I do it. I open it up, slide it in there, and then what you need is a nut, and now I'm not prepared, I'm not sure where it is. Alright, sorry about that guys, I actually lost the nut that I've been using. And then what you're going to need is a nut. If you want, you can just focus. Go down to the hardware store and ask them which one fits on a tripod, or I had a whole bunch of them in the garage, just went out and found one that fit on the taper of this tripod. And then all I do is you put the curved end on the tripod, the end that you bent to 90 degrees, screw it down, fasten it with the nut, and you're ready to film. So, like I said, it's probably the most ghetto rigged tripod you could possibly have, but it holds the video still, and I think that it makes for just that much nicer of a quality video, and it makes it easy to pan without too much disturbance. You can pan side to side. If you want to, you can obviously pick up the tripod, lean it in, bring coins to it, raise the tripod, lower the tripod. So for that reason, I really like tripods when making videos. Alright guys, so after I get the tripod set up, I like to cover up my workbench with something black. This is just a standard black bed sheet I've had forever, and I think it really helps make the coins pop, makes the shininess of them stand out more, and makes for an overall better viewing experience. Now, I think that you can do this with any dark background, whether it be green, brown. I know a lot of you guys like to just use your tables, which I think looks great too, just the standard brown wood tables. But for me, since I didn't have that option and I had all of the different logos underneath my table, I had to cover it up. So what I did is I just went the standard black sheet, and as you can see, it's ghetto rigged, just the same as a tripod. Down here in the bottom left, I got some vice grips holding it tight, and then I have just little clamps down there. And I do that just so it's tight all the way around, and it helps remove some of the wrinkles, which obviously there still are right now. But then I also have some clamps holding it on the side as well. Now my turret press here gets sort of in the way, which makes it so I can't really ever get rid of all the wrinkles just because I can't go around that corner, and I don't feel like spending the 20 minutes every time to actually unscrew the whole thing and then screw it back on afterwards. So instead, I just like to move the tripod a little bit closer, set it down here, and then just angle it down a little bit so you can't really see anything besides the black tablecloth and whatever coins I happen to be showing off. Now, I've actually learned something since I started my videos. At the beginning, I didn't realize how reflective silver was, and with the light shining down on it, it actually made this nasty brown chipboard really noticeable. So what I started doing now is I'm going to start taping the bed sheet up to it, just so it's a little bit more black in the background, and hopefully it won't be quite as reflective. So it's a work in progress for me too. We'll just see how that works out. And once I have that on there, I like to go upstairs, grab a lint roller, and just rub it over, sort of get rid of all the old packing peanuts from the last unboxing, all the little fluffs that accumulated while it's sitting in the linen closet. So if you guys see some white stuff on there during my videos, it's either I was in a hurry or feeling kind of lazy that day. But I do apologize. I usually try to get rid of as much white stuff as I can and make it as level or as flat as possible. But so now that we have the bench set up with the black bed sheet and our tripod set up, it's almost time to film. If you remember, I did say at the beginning of the video though that I like to use that plant light that my roommates use. So I'm going to go grab that quick, show you guys how I install that and how much it improves. And we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I've gone over and I've snatched the light that my roommates like to use to grow their plants, and I have fixed it to the top of my workbench. All I had to do for that was put some string underneath of it, screwed on there, and it hooks to some loops that are on the other side of the light. And I actually found that I needed to use a little piece of tape up here, which holds the light at more of an angle so that the light hits the center of the table, which works out really well. So that's it. That's my lighting setup. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I guess I should also show you guys. I do have one more light that I sometimes like to use. It's just my workshop light, pretty much directly over the table. And sometimes I have that on, sometimes I turn it off, depending on what sort of videos I'm making. And set this down. So there it is. I mean, that should look pretty familiar to most of you guys. That's just how all my videos look. And that light really pops. I think it really makes everything look a lot better, especially with the black contrast. And so that's how I film my videos. Like I said, guys, it's pretty jerry-rigged. I mean, from using an old reloading workbench that's got presses still attached to it. I got bed sheets held on by vice grips, and then I got light held up by string and tape. And then a tripod that's held together by a paper clip and a bolt, and a nut rather. So, like I said, I don't use the highest quality of things, but I think that it's not what you use, but rather how you use it, I guess. So that's how I make my videos. Hopefully, maybe they'll help some people who are out there trying to start videos. I've gotten like I said, I've gotten a lot of compliments on how it looks. So I just thought, I don't want to be the only one out there who knows how to make decent looking videos, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. I hope I don't sound too self-centered or conceited by saying, I wanted to show everybody how I do such an awesome videos, because obviously they're not that great. I'd really like to work on content, but, if it's easy on the eyes, it's easier to watch. So there's my video on how I use my setup, and thank you so much for watching. I'll continue to put out some more videos. I'm hoping to get out another one this week or so. So thank you guys, and keep stacking.